book for you so that you can become a new version of yourself.
Well, that's specifically why I sought you out in particular. You know, I could have just gone to the fucking barbershop in Chinatown and got a $6 haircut, but since this is my first haircut in a long time and I'm getting it for a specific transformational reason, it's not just a routine haircut.
Yeah.
It's like a significant haircut. I wanted to seek out somebody that had some magic to them, that understood the powers of hair and shit like that, you know, and you just happen to be the one on the list.
Self-love is really nice. Rose quartz.
Got a money one?
We have Tiger Eye for your ambitions.
That's good. I'll hold this one. That's the regular rider.
But look how great is this deck has female bodies. Look at those hips. Perfect hourglass shape in a pattern with the boobies. I didn't. Ooh! From her skirt flows the river of rainbows. As she is the mother of all plant life, she communes with the source through her lunar intuition and profound introspection. The essence of femininity, she's the gateway to your deepest Piscean emotions, and that connects you to your life force.
Long I hope so. I hope so. It was a good family. Maybe you should like instead of just a cigarette.
Oh yes, thank you so much. Great show, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Is that how you install this stuff?
Oh, that's how you do it.
New York City. New York City.
I found a better face. The other one was just way too racist.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be an attractive young man, so I used the G.I. Joe. But thanks for your counsel. There he is, the author.
My name is the Super Sucklord. I'm from New York City, and I am a action figure bootlegger. And I have created the Jingnan Taipei Night Market bootleg figure for my friend Mr. Ed Lin over here. And we're going to raffle this off to somebody who made a purchase tonight, right? But, in order to satisfy my friend over here, it seemed appropriate to give a little history of how this figure came to be so that the person that won it can really appreciate the importance and significance of what they are adding to their collection. Now, this is what we call a bootleg figure, which basically means that none of the pieces that comprise the action figure are original or sculpted from scratch. They're borrowed from other toys. For example, the body is a Shia LaBeouf figure from Indiana Jones Episode 4, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. The sneakers are from a reissue of a 1979 Alien action figure. The Tom Skerritt character had a pair of shell-toe Adidas, so I sampled those. And the arms are from a classic line of action people called the Adventure People, and this is from the water skier figure. But the real challenge of this figure was creating the head. This is an Asian Chinese man, and it needed to be accurately represented. And since I'm too lazy to sculpt it from scratch, I have to find a head from the pantheon of action figures in this scale in order to make it work. So my first thought was, oh, you know what would be kind of funny, is to use Donnie Yen. They got the Rogue One Star Wars figure, and he played the character of Chirrut Imwe, and I was like, that'd be kind of funny, make a famous movie star as the guy. So I went and I bought the Rogue One figure, and I made a little mold of it, and I casted it, and then I made it, and then I looked at it, and I was like, well, this has to be good. And he looks a little old. I mean, Jingnan is like, what, 25 or something like that? He's young. He looks a little old, and it doesn't look Asian. And I'm like, well, you know, there's not a lot of representation, you know, so I want this to be accurate, and I'm just not satisfied with this, so I want an Asian-looking head, and then I was like, well, you know, who am I as a white person to make the determination of like what looks Asian? But that was the job that was given to me, so I had to figure it out, and I needed to go and look at the limited selection of Asian, Chinese American or Chinese action figures to represent this character, and there really wasn't that much shit out there. So the next thing I went to, the first thing that I had in my collection was a G.I. Joe knockoff called Action Force. And there was this kung fu villain, you know, who had this face which looks Chinese, I suppose, but also in a very sort of ching-chongy fashion, if I must say. It's like with the flat nose and the slanty eyes, and it's just like it looks Chinese, I suppose, to like a racist white person. And I was desperate, so I was like, maybe I'll use this. And I casted it, and I looked at it, and it was just not acceptable. I can't hand this shit in. You know, it's like, it's maybe like a quick shorthand. It's like, yeah, it looks fucking like a Chinese character that you might see on like a racist package of noodles. But I can't stand by this. And like the deadline is fucking looming, and I need to come up with something quick. So I looked at other things, and there's not a lot of stuff. Most of the time when you have like a science fiction or a fantasy universe and you have a token Asian, it's always a Japanese person. You've got like Mr. Sulu, or in He-Man you have like Ninja or Jitsu, which are these ninja samurai guys, and that just didn't look right. And I looked to the world of vintage G.I. Joe figures, and there are a handful of Asian characters. One of them was Budo, which was like another fucking samurai guy. But it's like, it's a passively, it like looks Asian without being a caricature, but he's fucking Japanese. And it's just like, I can't be that guy that just slaps a fucking Japanese head on the figure and calls it a Chinese dude. I couldn't do that. I couldn't fucking do that. And I was running out of time, and I was looking deeper into G.I. Joe, and then they had the character of Quick Kick, who's like a Bruce Lee ripoff. He's like a kung fu guy, and it's like, well, you know, that's still a little bit stereotypical, but he's a handsome-looking figure, but he's fucking expensive, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was like, I had like 2 days to finish this shit, and in desperation, I went to Toy Tokyo in New York and 2nd Avenue and looked through their limited G.I. Joe stash, and I was fortunate enough to find a character I had previously forgot about, Tunnel Rat. He's an explosive expert, and his thing is like he digs tunnels and he plants bombs, and they all have little background bio cards where it explains like who they are and where they came from. And he's a Trinidadian Chinese from Brooklyn. And if you look at the face, he's reasonably handsome, and he has enough of the thing with the eyes to make him look Chinese without being like a caricature. And I said, fuck it, I'm doing this. And he had this weird hat. So I sculpted the hat down, and I gave him this sort of like emo hairstyle. And I wound up with the Jingnan figure, and I showed it to official Asian person, Edlin, and he signed off on it, and there you have it. That's yeah! If you look at this, you probably wouldn't know that, but I feel like the DNA of these things is important, and even if you don't know it intellectually, on some soul level, you might get it. And I couldn't stand by it if it was some total racist shit, so it's only partially racist. And I figured that was pretty good for this day and age. So somebody's gonna win this fucking figure. 456086. You!
Oh God.
Everything that's all there is good. That's all.
All right, lights, camera, action. Let's get on with the show. Just a little studio update, and I'm gonna close out this video. I don't think I'm gonna do a big monologue like I normally do, thank fucking God, because I've just been so busy living my life and having fun, and I'm not feeling too particularly introspective for a change, so I'm just gonna skip that fucking shit. A lot of stuff happened this month. It's unbelievable. A lot of things I couldn't even put in this video for various reasons. But I just figured I'm gonna talk about what's going on the art side of things, because that's an important thing that sometimes gets overlooked in all this other activity. So here we go. Yeah, just to solve the last issue, the Christopher Walken figure, finally fucking got that done, got that out the motherfucking door, and that problem was fucking solved. I wasn't 100% happy with the results, but I'm glad I got it off my goddamn plate. I gotta say, every time I try to make any sort of piece that is supposed to be a sort of semi-accurate depiction of a living person or an actual person, it's always problematic, because you can just never get the fucking likeness to work the way you want it to. So, whatever, that's out of my fucking face, and I need to produce more work for the website, so I decided to just take a completely different tack and give myself a break on that and do something a little more loosey-goosey. So I'm doing a series based on one of my favorite artists of all time, Hieronymus motherfucking Bosch, focusing specifically on the Garden of Earthly Delights, and of course the hell part. And I'm using it, using pieces that I've already had as a sort of freestyle exercise. I did make some new things. I fucking destroyed my fucking childhood Gonzo figure, which was a real shame, but you know, I needed a lot of freaky, there's a lot of freaky bird-like characters in the work, so I needed to depict that. And what I'm doing here is, like, I'm not trying to necessarily exactly replicate any of these monstrous characters in the images. I'm just trying to, like, sort of study it and then just make a figure that is a character that could plausibly be in the scene also. And that's fun, because I don't have to really represent anything too accurately, and I can freestyle, and hopefully people like this shit and buy it. I really do like to get as much value as I can out of my molds, and what's great about this series is I could use bits and pieces from a lot of past series. Like, these bodies are from the Genie series, the Wizards and Fortune Tellers, some stuff from the Satan set, a couple of pieces from Wizards, even got something from the Computer Love stuff. The Mermaid series is being represented in here as well, and even brought back the old Gollum body. It has got me thinking, though. I'd love to go see the painting in person. I think I've seen it once. It's in the Bardo in Madrid. Anyway, I'd love to study it in detail up close in person, and I'm just wondering, like, how come nobody's ever made like a cartoon or a movie or a TV show about this? There's so many incredible characters in the works that it's just seems like it would just lend itself to just endless storytelling. So I don't know, someday when I become a big Hollywood producer, maybe that'll be something that I go after. Beyond that, we have DesignerCon coming up, and I got to do a lot of shit for that. I decided I'm just gonna roll with mad fucking product. Here's a little secret that I'm gonna reveal right now, is I'm doing a collaboration with the Punk Drunkers. Hot stuff from Japan. Maybe you've never heard of it, but that's a big deal. I'm not going to reveal any of the figures right now, but that's going to be for DesignerCon, and I'm doing an extensive line and some bigger custom art pieces as well. And then I'm also just going to have a few strange psychedelic figures there. I'm going to actually do some Star Wars related stuff, just because why fucking not. And I guess that's all there is to report. Woo, thank God. So I'm free. I finally solved all my fucking problems. Thanks for watching the Patreon video, and I'll see you next month.